Okay, Jeff, so the engine's working? Good, and DRS is functioning. Excellent, and the gearbox? Brand new. Perfect, mate, so we're not going to have any issues this weekend. What do you mean, no promises? Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to the Russian Grand Prix back here at Aussie Villain Racing, and today it's going to be an interesting race. Last year it was our first race that we really scored big points. We got a 6th place finish, and so I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do something similar, if not better, second season around. Now you can see we've got a 2-week gap here between the last race in Italy, of course, so let's have a look and see what we can do. We've got durability department focus, which is resource points, which could be useful. Second driver performance review. Now he being sportsman, of course, his focus wasn't great, was it? So I do think that is probably something we want to do. Second driver press tour. Don't know about that one. Supplier H. So that gives us that. So that's probably a good one. Let's go with that. I'm looking here at this next one, which is aerodynamic equipment upgrade. That looks like a good thing to do. That leaves us with 2 days. Which will have to be aero team building. So the aero department getting a lot of love this time around. So that is everything there. Yeah, I don't think the other 2 things were particularly useful to us. Facility upgrade. Now we have 4.2 million in the bank. That is not going to be enough, is it, to upgrade anything? What about in personnel? How much do these things cost? 6 mil, 4 million for a fitness center. Second driver racecraft focus awareness stats will be moderately improved. Second driver's experience, that will be moderately improved. So let's maybe try that. 3 million gives us a little bit of money. And I think this might be the last that we spend on the facility. I'm conscious of the fact that we might be able to get maybe a better driver than Sportsman as a teammate. So I'd rather have the money, and we can always sort of binge spend over the off season to get things done. So I'm thinking anyway, that's what we might do. If you have any experience on, what is the best to do, just let me know. You can see we have major parts coming. One of those at least is going to be, it's the top one, obviously, 7th September. That is going to be around for this race. When's the 23rd is the Grand Prix. So no, we won't quite have the second part there. But let's go and have a look and see what we can spend. We have 3,200 resource points. So I think what we might do, we only have one aero upgrade left here, or well, one that we can get anyway. That's this halo. That is, you can see there, a major upgrade, which will help rear downforce. I'm thinking that might help us through some of the faster corners as well, which is, I think, where we struggle a little bit. So let's do that, and that will be they're in place for the Japanese Grand Prix, which is probably a good track because Suzuka has a lot of high-speed corners. Look at the potential upgrade there. We would be, as I said, this is a constantly moving thing, but that's the best car if everything else stays still, which of course it won't. That gives us 1,300. Now we have essentially maxed out the chassis. There's one thing I think we can get on the chassis. Is it here? Yeah, it's cockpit weight reduction. Now we could do that. It's only a minor upgrade though. I'm thinking what we might want to look to do if we go here. Look at the powertrain. Oh, we're just short. Look at that. We could probably get that. This is energy recovery system, which I believe will give us more battery power. We'll be able to get that after sort of a week of simming. So I think we may even just hold out, and we'll get that in a day or two's time. So that'll be that. And the progress history, again, you can see we are kicking clear of we're closer to Ferrari than we are to Aston Martin, but things have sort of leveled out the last race or two for us. Now, we had an issue, didn't we, last race with the ICE, so we'll put a new one of those in. Everything else here, though, looks okay. The turbo is maybe on its way out as well. I wonder if we fit a new one of those now just to be safe. We're going to have to take engine penalties, aren't we, at some point? I should have taken them at Zandvoort when we had a poor qualifying. Gearbox, of course, we're eligible for a new one now, so we will go and put that in. And corporate side of things, nothing too much has changed here. Driver contracts are, of course, roughly the same. Driver market hasn't changed. Finances, we have put a little bit of money into the factory, so that has spent some money. So that means that we have plunged. Look at that. We've spent a lot of money recently. But we'll try and build that up, as I say, between now and the end of the season. A reminder of the standings. We're in 9th. Sportsman is in 13th, doing a decent job for us this year. You can see there we are level on points with AlphaTauri for 5th. That is our battle. We're certainly not catching Ferrari. Alpine is unlikely to catch us, you'd say. So it's between us and AlphaTauri for that 5th place. And that would be... It would be really good, I think, for this season if we could do that. And then future seasons we can look to build and catch the teams, the big four ahead of us. So you can see the season results there. And here we go with our results. So Russia next, as I say, last season we were 6th here. So that was very, very nice indeed. And we're going to have to get a new rival. We beat Alonso last episode, so that will be something to look forward to. And we can see me as a driver. Nothing too much has changed there in terms of average start and finish positions. So let's skip our way back here, sim ahead, and hopefully nothing goes wrong once we get the resource points.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through.
That's not good.
But some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
So we may have to put on hold our wish to get the rotors done. Let's go back here. So it's the rear wing end plate that has failed. So that's going to be rear downforce, you would imagine. And it is how many resource points? Oh, there it is there, 637, and we'll get it after this race. So we'll do that. That puts at the thought of getting any of the rotary thing done to bed. Now, one thing we could do, as you can see there, the pistons have been put on. If we go to durability, we do have a couple of really cheap. They're only minor, but we've been working on them. Well, not working on them, but in the free practice things, we've been getting discounts on them. So whilst we can't do too much else, I think maybe we just clear up a couple of these cheaper ones. So that's them done now. So they're only minor upgrades, but it won't hurt to have them. So let's sim ahead now to the race. Hopefully nothing else goes wrong. Aero team thing has happened. So we will be getting a new rivalry, it looks like. And, well, we'll probably get asked when we get to Russia. So let's head off there. So here we are at the Sochi Autodrome, a track map there if you're unfamiliar with the layout. Weather forecast is overcast, but essentially dry. Oh, regulations for next year. So what that basically says is that there's going to be regulation changes. They don't know exactly what it is yet, but we need to bear that in mind when we're sort of investing in upgrades. So I think what that means is a freeze of upgrades for the rest of this year, and we'll start to look towards next year where you never know, we might be able to kick on. And Sebastian Vettel will be retiring. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? But that means, thankfully, finally, there's going to be some changes in the driver lineups because Vettel will leave. It means Aston Martin will have to replace him, and it'll all sort of bounce around from there. So I think we definitely want to save money now, because if there's going to be drivers moving, maybe someone will come in for Schwartzman. We want to have enough money that we can either hang on to him or go and replace him if that's what we want to do. So that is that. Everything, it's all action here in Russia. All right, then we'll do some free practice, and I will see you for qualifying 1. All right, free practice is done. We're ready for qualifying. I think we have a decent car here. I was sort of around the top 10. Schwartzman, though, was 8th in FP3, so that shows, I think, a good speed in the car. Now, the weather report, there is a chance of rain in both sessions, but as you can see in the official forecast, they are both expected to be dry, and less than 20% chance in qualifying. Well, then a bit more than that in the race, but I hope it's going to be dry because we have not got a wet weather set up. Let's head into was it Q1 we're doing now? Qualifying 1. Alright, here we go, coming around to start our first lap in Q1. With a chance of rain, we are out very, very early. We don't want to get caught on a damp track if anybody else has had a dry lap. Hopefully, if we get a dry lap in, it'll go the other way. Now, if I can hook a lap up, we're quite quick. The problem I found in pre-practice is actually not hooking up a complete lap, and it's a sort of track that, with all these sort of 90-degree corners like this, if you nail it, you're quick. But it's very easy to go a little bit deep or brake a little bit early, and then you lose a lot of time, whether you're just not maximizing the corner. So, yeah, so far so good. The tricky part is the last sector and that really tricky chicane. I'll point it out when I get there. And it's sort of oh, that's not great. It's a real blind turn in as well, which makes it even more difficult, but you'll know it that even in real life the drivers tend to loop it when they get there. So not this one, although this is tricky on the exit, trying to get the gas down. This one here, the real blind turn in, and if you get it right, and I tell you what, that is as good as I've taken it. So this should be a good lap. There's so much time to be made and lost there. I think we can finish it off strongly. I think this should be good to get us out of the session. We're P2 as it stands, but we're ahead of Bottas. So it is good enough we get through in P7. I forgot to mention, I think, but Lance Stroll is our new rival. So that is one that we should be able to win, I would imagine. So he has just scraped through into Q2, as has Schwartzman. That's disappointing from Schwartzman. I was expecting a little bit more from him. Hopefully he'll lift his game in Q2, and hopefully we can get ourselves into Q3. Alright, sun is out, so any threat of rain appears to have gone. This is obviously our first run in Q2. Hopefully we can hook up another lap and find ourselves relatively comfortably into Q3. Now, of course, if we were to get through, we have to start the race on this set of tyres. So we don't want to do anything more than we have to. Have gone a little bit deep in there, but we should have just about got away with that. There is a car a little bit in front of us. It should be far enough ahead not to affect us. It's affected us. Alright, we'll try this again. We were very lucky there to only lose our front wing. That could very easily have been session over for us. So we've got another new set of tyres on. Not that the other one set did too far, but we don't want to press the start tyres any more than we have to. Now let's see if I can not... I'm not quite sure what happened. The back just seemed to come around. So maybe trying to keep a little bit too tight of a line. Obviously I've done some mess this up. Alright, come on. Head back in at Aussie Villain. I'm trying too hard, I think. Just need to do what we did last time. We were quick, and I've messed it up again. We'll stick with it so we have a delta time. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? We've got a delta time now. Our best is, as you would expect, P16. And, well, we're going to be starting on older tyres than we would have liked to. Let's hope we can get this done this time around. Not too worried about going a little bit wide there. Not a bad line through there this time. A little bit too fast perhaps, but we've lost a little bit of time compared to last lap. Come on. Purple first sector though, so that's alright. So we're obviously not too bad through that first sector. We do have a rocket down the straights, of course, and I've gone too deep there again. I'm not hooking up this lap. That's better. That's almost perfect. That is perfect, as a matter of fact. Alright, we're well and truly up. Now, is this going to be enough to get us out of the session? That's going to be, well, the final sector is going to be the proof in the pudding, isn't it?
If we don't get into 10th or higher, we won't progress to the shootout. Give it your best shot.
Thank you, Jeff. That's how qualifying works. And I've stuffed that up well and truly, haven't I? This is the money corner. Again, not too bad. We've gone purple first and second sectors. Now, the third sector hasn't been great. But surely we've done enough to get out of the session here. P1! Oh, we're fastest!
Fastest lap.
So we don't end the session as fastest, but we are set to be on the front row. Only a smidgen off of Bottas there as well, and it wasn't a fantastic lap from me. So we are, I would say, well and truly on for pole position here. And Schwartzman's got himself into the top 10 as well, and Stroll has been knocked out. Has he? Yes, he has. So we've already won our qualifying rivalry. Let's see if we can go and get a second career pole, shall we? Alright, now this is sort of our second run, kind of. First run, we did some damage to the side pods or something on our brand new set of tyres, our last remaining new set of tyres, so we had to abort the lap. I'm not sure how much the damage would have affected us, but I didn't want to take any more life out of those tyres than we had to. But yeah, not ideal. So we'll kind of see what we can do here. Lost back a little bit too deep. And again, it's just me over driving, isn't it?
There's been some damage to the underbody. We're recommending you come in so we can make repairs.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to edit that together. Basically, we didn't get to set a time. We damaged the floor on a curb, which I had not done in any free practice sessions or anything. So we had to repair it twice, and that was us done. We didn't get a chance to have a third attempt. So we start P10 behind Schwartzman, and, well, that is very much an anticlimax, isn't it?
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position today, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Max Verstappen and Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Schwartzman and Oldtimer, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda and Ocon, Vettel, Stroll, Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell, Raikkonen, Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Alright, so in all Aussie Villain fifth row, there is a chance of rain, although it doesn't look like it's raining just yet, but the clouds are there, aren't they? And there was a just over 20% chance. So hopefully it stays dry for us and we can hold position. We have a look at our race strategy. It's a little bit tied in because we kind of got stuck, didn't we, in Q3, and then I stuffed it up well and truly. So I think what we might do is let's stay out on these soft tyres as long as we can, and then we'll go to the mediums and sort of try and blast home. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully extending the first stint will work out for us. We do have a fast car in a straight line, we know that. So let's hope myself and Schwartzman can not hit each other into the first corner and then sort of come through the field. It should be a good race. Let's see how we do. Alright, I had some work to do to redeem myself here, don't I? Russian Grand Prix, here we go, and we're off. And that's not the worst start we've ever done. Schwartzman's got a good one, it looks like, as well on the outside. Can we... Oh, Leclerc comes across and tries to block us off. We switch to the outboard, get a better view of things. We've got ourselves up... we've got Schwartzman on the outside wall. We're going up the inside. Can we take Leclerc? We can. We force him off. Can Schwartzman maybe get him as well? No such luck there. Little bit wide, but that's fine. There's no one anywhere near us at the moment. We'll jump back on board, and let's see if we can take advantage of Verstappen and Norris in front of us. We're up to P7, which isn't not bad, is it? Not bad from the start. And we've hit the back of Verstappen there as he sort of checks up mid-corner. That's given Sainz. Is it? No, it's Leclerc. Who's on the outside? There's Ferrari on the inside. It's Leclerc. Oh, Jesus. Almost took us both out there, but lunging back up the inside. Getting Robert. Can Schwartzman take advantage of that? We did our best to take him as wide as possible. And now we go onto the back straight. We've got a decent run on Verstappen. We know we've got a quick car in a straight line. We jump back on board again. We've got the battery on. Can we... Verstappen trying to force us against the wall. That's not going to work, Max. We go up the inside. Little bit of just a bumping, or was it rubbing as racing? And that is us past Max and up into P6. Another look. It was controlled, wasn't it? It was controlled. Let's say he turned in on us. And Schwartzman in the background trying to get past Leclerc as well. And a little bit deep. Where is he? He's on the outside. There's only a wall out there for you, Max, so I wouldn't bother. And again, we jump back outboard, and we can see that Norris has kind of cleared off, hasn't he? And we've got a little bit of a train. Now, this is a long straight. Obviously, no DRS till the end of this lap, so we're okay on that front. And with the power we have in this car of ours, we should be fine. It looks like Leclerc is going to challenge Verstappen. But as you were, as we go into turn 1. And we've still got Schwartzman up there in P9 as well, in a Ferrari sandwich. But that's okay if he can stay there. 2 points for the team. We'll take that and run. And we can see the Alpha Tauris are currently 11th and 12th, so no points for them. So it would be advantage AVR if the race was to finish now, and that is a little wide on the AstroTurf. It would just about get away with it. And now still no DRS this lap, is there? So we should be fine. Although Verstappen is a little bit closer than we'd like, a little bit wide again. We get through there. Now he's on the. Is he on the soft tyres or is he on the? He's on the mediums, isn't he? Which maybe explains a little bit his lack of pace. But we're pulling our way down the straight, so with sort of eyes forward, try and focus on Lando Norris here if we can maybe get a catch on him. Weird angle we've got there. And what the hell?
Fucking hell, Max.
What has happened there? On board with Verstappen. He's come from nowhere. Oh, Max. Surely a penalty. As we go back live, he has sent us down to 11th. He's even further back. Is he coming into the pits? Because we saw his wing sort of flapping off. I don't know if we have any other damage yet. Verstappen is coming in, you saw in the background there. I've run wide out of the last corner. Now that's going to let Alonso past us as well. Down to P12. Although we might be able to fight this. But what was Verstappen thinking? There was never, ever a chance of him getting, as we try and fight with Alonso, but we have to give that one up. He has the inside, and there's not much we can do about that. But what was Verstappen thinking? It was never on. It doesn't look, you can see me kind of checking there for damage. It looks as though we're fine. So it could have been worse on that front, but what was P6 is now P12. And, well, at least Swarton's up to 7th, I suppose. But what a disappointment that is. But head down. We've got to try and get back these spots. We know we've got a fairly quick car, so we've just got to get our heads down and try and use it. And with that massively long front straight, DRS is of course now open. You can see we've got DRS open. We're on the button as well. We might be a little bit too. Are we going to Verstappen him? Oh no, we back out. Be a bit of a hypocrite, wouldn't it, if I went and launched in there having just been taken out by Max Verstappen. But with the massive long front straight, it looks as though it's Schwartzman up there that is holding everybody up for us, which is very nice of him. A little bit slow through there, though. I wonder if we do have a little bit of damage, because we're losing quite a bit of time there in that slow corner, aren't we? But with DRS and just generally our car down this front straight, we might be a chance of picking these guys off relatively quickly. And, you know, maybe we can still finish the race in something like a respect. Yeah, it is Sportsman, everybody up for us. But we're just too far back. And I do wonder, yeah, like I say, if we do have a little bit of damage, it's not showing up on the display there, because we should, or we shouldn't rather, be losing as much time as we did through that final sector coming towards the front straight. But we'll just chip away at it. We're caught it up through this first sector, haven't we? So we still do have pace in the car, which is obviously a good thing. We've got soft tyres. I didn't know just what those around us are on. If we jump back on board, we'll get an idea. But you can see all over the road. I wonder if there is a bit of floor damage or something. But here we go, onto the back straight. DRS. Not using the battery just yet. We just need to stay within a second, don't we? There's not really a move to be had there, I don't think, especially when Alonso has DRS as well. But it's just a train, isn't it? Yeah, the old-fashioned trolley train behind a Schwartzman. Now, if we get this section right, we will surely have Alonso down this front straight. Just using a little bit of battery, just trying to stay close as possible, went a little bit deep in there. We do have a little bit of pressure behind us. Ocon and Vettel have sort of closed in, but we're much closer this lap. And let's see what we can do. DRS open now. And look at us eating the ground up, eating the ground up. Surely he's going to be us if we can get a nice go. There it is there, and we have another go. Wow-wee. That is 2 in 1 as we dive bomb Tsunoda. Not something we were planning on doing, but the opportunity was there, and it was as much avoiding an accident as actually trying to make the overtake. Tsunoda's coming back at us, but we have the inside line, and that is move done. So we'll skip ahead now forward to lap 6, and we are coming into the pits. So let's see where this brings us out.
Well, Verstappen has somewhat ruined our race, hasn't he? I'll have to have a look back on the replay, but it certainly felt like he stuck his nose where it didn't belong. But yeah, anyway, at least we didn't lose too much, I suppose. I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he's out of the race. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Hopefully sneak some points.
So we've come out behind Pierre Gasly again, but we might be a little bit closer than when we went in. But let's see where we blend back out. And that's not, is it? It is Max Verstappen. He is just in front of us. Can Gasly take him out, Pierre? Not quite. And he set a fastest lap as well. We've jumped Schwartzman, who's behind us. So Schwartzman's the big loser there, isn't he? He was holding up the train. Robert, don't think about it, mate. I'm not in a good mood. But, yeah, Verstappen has got his fresh set of tyres on, and he's got softs as well. Now, will they last is maybe the question. He would have put them on was it lap 3 or lap 2 that we had the accident? So he's going to have to go 10 or so laps with the softs. So he might be there for us at the end. But I guess time will tell. Sochi's not known for eating tyres, is it? So he might annoyingly just about get away with it. But let's get Pierre, and then if we can get behind Verstappen nice and early. We've already shown that we can overtake him, albeit we were on softs and he was on mediums at that point. Slightly deep there. But we need to clear Pierre Gasly as quick as possible, if for no other reason. Now, it says right now we're sort of we're in 16th and Pierre Gasly there is in... no, we're in 7th, sorry. Pierre Gasly's in 16th, but obviously there's pit stops to come from those that would have started on the medium tyre. So this is before the pit stops. It was Gasly 9th or 10th? Verstappen's thrown himself. They can see we're moved back up now to 12th. And looking at those ahead of us, Latifi is up there and Stroll. Now they are out of position, aren't they? So in theory, we are currently 10th and Pierre Gasly is 9th once it shakes out. So it's important for the Constructors' Championship that we do go and get past Gasly here. And obviously it would be very nice to go and run down Verstappen and put him into a wall somewhere, but thinking more logically, it would be very nice to take Gasly and take that extra point, and that would give us an advantage over them, obviously, in the Constructors then. Next race is Singapore, and we know that those sorts of street circuits I tend to not do well at. Now, Schwartzman is coming good for us at the end of the season. A little bit deep, a little bit eager trying to get into this DRS zone. But we might have a chance here. We've got the DRS open, battery on. He sort of fades us to the inside here, which is going to be the outside of the actual corner.
The gap to the car ahead is 2.0 seconds.
2 seconds to max, but we've got Gasly done. He's not going to get around the outside there. And we've just got to be a little bit careful now. Obviously, the front straight, he will have DRS back on us. We've just clipped that inside curve there, which isn't ideal. But we're setting green sectors here. It's been a decent lap. And if we can stay clear of Gasly down this front monstrosity of a straight, it's huge, isn't it? Then, not the greatest exit, then that should be enough. Schwartzman is there. We've moved up to P9 now as Stroll and Latifi make their stops. And it was 2 seconds to max. Can we chase him down in the 4 or 5 laps that remain here? Gasly nowhere near us. We've pulled out a gap down that straight, even if he did have DRS. So we'll skip ahead now to the final lap. We weren't able to catch Verstappen. He was just a little bit too quick for us, unfortunately. I would love... It's really annoying, actually, that he's going to go and beat us, because it was a dodgy move, and it doesn't look like he even got a penalty. Ricciardo's won the race. Go on, Denny Rick. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like he even got a penalty for that, and surely that was a penalty.
Well, that's the case of what could have been if Max Verstappen didn't stick his big Dutch nose where it doesn't belong.
Take care of the car on the way in.
Such a shame. And he beat us as well.
At least I'm not bitter.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm really happy to see them there on the top step of the podium.
Right, where's Verstappen? Sticking his big orange Dutch nose in where it doesn't belong. And if I hear Christian Horner defending him this time, oh, there's going to be trouble. So a frustrating one that one, wasn't it? Technically, we moved up a spot. Schwartzman went backwards as well, which is annoying. Yeah, like I say, I'll have to go back and have a look. It certainly felt as though the front of Max Verstappen's car hit the back of our car, but, you know, that's maybe I was wrong, but I'm sure Christian Horner is saying that it was just a racing incident and that there was room and I should have left him more room, but it didn't feel like that, I've got to say. It certainly felt as though he was, as I said, just sticking his nose in. We did beat Stroll and we beat him comfortably, so that is good. That goes well for the on-track rivalry. And if we go and have a look, importantly, we beat Gasly as well. Now, of course, he drives for AlphaTauri, and AlphaTauri, who we are battling in the Constructors. So that was an important position to get there. And we have a look at the Constructors. We are now a single point ahead of them, heading into what I think is going to be a bit of a bogey race next time out when we go to Singapore. I don't think I'm going to do very well there. But there we go, that will do it for today. Comprehensive over Lance Stroll, so that is good. And the rivalry's looking strong already there, isn't it? But if you've enjoyed that, hit thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, friggin' Max Verstappen. But yeah, I'll see you next time out at Singapore, a track we didn't do well at last year. I think it was 17th or so. It's a little bit like Monaco, isn't it? If I finish it, I'll probably be happy. All over to you, Robert. You've got to get the points there for us. Hopefully AlphaTauri have a bad day as well. But yeah, that is it for today. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you, as I say, next time out in only 40 grand of damage. We should send that bill to Verstappen, shouldn't we? What's the overall money? There it is there. I'll see you next time. Take care.